Hello Year 9. My name is Mrs. Curtis and I'm in charge of psychology at Farlingay High School. I wanted to take this opportunity today to talk to you a little bit about the GCSE Psychology course, which is one of your possible options for Year 10, and it is the best subject in the world. You won't have studied it before, so I wanted to explain a little bit about what it would involve in the next 2 years if you choose psychology. What is psychology? Well, psychology is the study of behaviour, and basically behaviour is everything that we do. As a psychologist, we are interested in how people think, how they react, how they interact. In those days when we could actually socialise, we're interested in how other people affect our behaviour. So behaviour is everything that we do in every situation. Now that is a massive topic area. So obviously at GCSE we can't look at everything. So we look at a variety of different types of behaviour. And let me just go through some of the different topic areas that you would study if you choose GCSE Psychology. So in Year 10 we look at memory. Now this is really helpful for all of your subjects because we look at how our memory works and what we know about how our memory works and how we can improve our memory, which is really useful considering the amount of information that you are going to have to remember for your GCSE exams at the end of Year 11. So psychology includes a number of really useful skills that you will actually be able to use in other subjects as well. It gives you a number of little life skills. Perception is another topic that we look at. We've just finished doing that with Year 10, and that's a really interesting topic area where we look at how we see the world around us. Two people can look at exactly the same situation and they can see it very differently. We only have to look at things like eyewitness testimonies to understand how different people can perceive things in different ways. We look at how visual illusions work, how we can trick the brain. We also then go on to look at development and how our brains develop and how our behaviour develops and how our way of thinking develops as we get older. So if you have an interest in things like child development, psychology goes really well with sort of childcare and health and social care, because we look at how children develop in those early years. Now everything that we know about psychology is discovered through research where we investigate people's behaviours in lots and lots of different ways, and so we have to have an understanding of how research is carried out, and that's a big topic across the whole GCSE. In Year 11 we then move on to look at social influence. Now this is really this idea of how other people affect our behaviour. I'm sure that you behave differently when you're with your family to when you're with your friends or when you're with teachers at school. Different people affect our behaviour in different ways. We also look at language and how language develops, how we learn to speak. We also look at non-human language, and in particular we look at bees and the fact that they actually communicate with each other through dance. Which is an absolutely fascinating topic area of this GCSE course. Again, this topic area of language and communication gives you a number of life skills, all right? Learning how to actually come across in interviews. When you walk into an interview, for a job or for a college place or anything that you might apply for in the future, the person doing the interview will normally make up their mind within the first 20 seconds of you walking in the room before you've even opened your mouth. And so if you know what they're going to be looking for, how we communicate without words, that would be an extremely useful skill for all of you to have. We also look at brain and neuro psychology, all right, the connection between our nervous system, our brain and the behaviour that we actually see. And this is a really up-and-coming area of psychology, one of the most sort of exciting areas of psychology at the moment, because now we can scan brains and we can learn a lot more about what actually goes on inside the brain when people are behaving in different ways. One of the last topics that we look at is something, again, that is very, very relevant to our everyday lives, and particularly, I guess, at the moment with COVID, and that is psychological problems and mental health issues. And we look at two mental health issues in particular. We look at depression and addiction. Now, mental health will affect at least 1 in 2 of us at some point in our lives. So it's a really useful topic to understand. So if you have an interest in people and you are interested in learning what makes you tick, what makes people around you tick, if you're interested in trying to explain the behaviour of yourself or other people, then this is really the subject for you. A couple of little sort of admin things about psychology. It has no coursework. It is 100% written exams. And I know that can be quite an important factor for some students. Okay, so there is no coursework. It is all at the end of year 11. There are 2 exam papers. They are 1 hour and 45 minutes long each. They are made up of a variety of different style questions, from multiple choice to sort of longer, more extended writing answers. So 2 papers at the end of year 11. Now, we as psychologists have a valuable contribution to make to all areas of life today. And if you want to make a difference, and as I say, if you have an interest in people and you want to find out more about what makes us do the things that we do when we do it, then this is the subject for you. Okay, it goes with other subjects really, really well. So if you're somebody who's quite sporty and interested in PE, psychology is a really superb subject to do alongside that. It works well with a lot of the humanities subjects. The skills that you need in psychology, you need to have a questioning mind. Don't take everything at face value. You need to be able to evaluate evidence like you do in history. So it is a wonderful subject. It really goes well with a variety of other GCSE options that you might have. I will give you one word of warning though before I finish. And I'm not going to try and put people off, but psychology is not an easy subject. So that is something for you to think about. There is an awful lot to remember. We have terms and vocabulary that we have to use, and it is almost at times like learning sort of a different language. So it is not an easy subject, but it is the most wonderful subject in the world. So have a think about that in terms of GCSE. I know you won't have studied it before. Normally we'd have some students with us and they would tell you why they chose it. Now, a lot of people choose it because it is something new. A lot of students choose it because they know somebody else doing it and they've heard that how good it is. Other students choose it because they just think, oh wow, I am interested in all of those sort of topic areas. I'm really interested in people, and it's something I'd perhaps like to do in the future. So there's lots of reasons to choose psychology. If you would like to find out more, I can be found in LR2 or email me. Finally, here are 2 of our current GCSE students, Ollie and Tyra, to tell you what they think of psychology.
Hi, I'm Ollie. I chose psychology because I was really interested and wanting to learn about why we act in the way we do. And the thing I was most excited about was why we act differently in public situations rather than at home. I definitely chose the right decision because I'm really enjoying psychology and I always want to learn something new.
Hi, I'm Tyra, I'm in Year 11 and I took GCSE Psychology because I wanted a chance to learn something new, and it's not something you get offered at lower down the school. And I'm really enjoying it, and it's applicable to loads of other subjects like PE, biology, and can be used in the real world, and I'm also considering taking it for A-level.